Alright, so as usual, this NQ on the 1 minute time frame. Let's go and start our analysis from the daily, right? Now, I noticed something really interesting on the daily, which we call an inside day, right? What that means is that this particular day, that is today's what? I think Wednesday, there's going to be a very large range. We are going to expand either lower or higher in a very large range. So you can see how this particular candlestick, that's the previous day candlestick, didn't sweep neither the low, neither the high, sorry, or low of the previous day, which was, I think, Monday. So it's telling us that we have what liquidity stuck in between this range. So yeah, there's going to be a large retraction, either targeting the highs or the lows, right? So now let's go on a 1 hour to kind of align ourselves. And yeah, on the 1 hour, what are we seeing? Where's liquidity line? We can see like a lot of equal highs at this particular high. Now, okay, I wanted to confirm if this particular candlestick, that's this only candlestick, swept the low of this candlestick, but they didn't. Right now, if they did, it would have been very, very nice for me because it tells me that we are sweeping the low of this particular candlestick. So we have a lot of reason to get back to the highs, supporting my bullish narrative. And on the 15 minute here, we are getting the same narratives. So they came into the discounts of this particular range. So you can see how they are respecting this discount fair value gap and they are pushing higher. And yeah, all the way to the 1 minute now. I want to draw the zones I'm looking at. So yeah, there's this equal high line above here. You can see how we are below this equal lows. And we are forming a consolidation. Now, anytime we're in a consolidation, what do you expect? A manipulation, then a distribution. So if they are to manipulate, I like to see them manipulate lower before going higher because I want to be a buyer, right? So I'm looking at the sell side to get taken on that manipulation if they want to manipulate. Then you can distribute back into this range. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at today for pre 9:30 opening bell. Does anybody have any similar outlook or even a different one? Yo, Leslie, what's up? What are you looking at?
For me, I think we have a discounted opening range gap, so I'm expecting them to at least buy to at least 25% of it, if only they want to sell for the day. But I'm seeing buys today.
Okay, is Nessa here with us? Okay, today I want people who don't talk to talk. How about Phaser?
Yeah, I'm also expecting buys. There's a fair if you I'm looking at the 45-minute time frame. There's a fair value gap that I've marked out on my side, and they did break it a little, but it's still being respected. So I'm expecting buys out of the fair value gap range to I think is it yesterday's high. Yeah,
So we have one more. Okay, even 10 seconds to the 9:30 candlestick. So guys, be attentive from here. Yeah, we have 9:30 candlestick. Wow, we didn't have a manipulation lower. We didn't. We are just moving higher. So let's see how far that can take them. If they continue higher without me, I'm just going to tape read. I'm not forced to take a trade. It doesn't fit my rules. So they're extremely bullish on the 9:30 candlestick. Very, very bullish. And that's going to make me sit on my hands for a while because although I want to buy, I didn't get the entry from a discount zone. And there's no way you're going to see me buying in a premium. So yeah, I'm going to steady this. Yeah, I forgot to give you guys my daily target. So I'm looking at price reaching these highs and that satisfies my day. So if they breach this particular 9:30 highs, there's a high probability they are getting to this point. But then, as I said, I'm not going to take this trade. I'm just deep reading it because it's highly risky. Alright, so I'm just looking at this stop loss here and take profit just above the high. And yeah, just like that, they hit it. Just like that, they hit it. Just that I don't like trades like that, so I'm not comfortable with trades like that, so I'm not going to take it. And I guess yeah, that ends my day actually. That ends my day. I'm not going to trade today. If they form the narrative I was looking at, that's the liquidity sweep of this sell side, I would have looked at a trade going upwards. But at this large range makes it very, very hard to trade this setup. Although I could have just entered and it'll go straight to TP. I don't like to train myself that way. I like to see everything in place before I enter trade so that I'm confident in that particular trade. So yeah, that ends my day. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions?
Jason,
Yeah, Eddie now.
you said today is an inside day.
Yeah, an inside day. Yeah, so
What
it can
does
be
that mean?
very, very volatile. It's an ICT concept. Okay, I've not really thought on it ever before. Okay, yeah, let me just talk about it a little bit. Let's go there. All right, so an inside day basically. Now, do you see how Monday's candlestick, steady Monday's candlestick, and steady Tuesday's candlestick? Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in this whole area. So this Monday's candlestick, this what Tuesday's candlestick. Now, do you see how the highs of Monday and the lows of Monday are intact? And this particular candlestick becomes an insider candlestick to this one. I didn't know you following. Are you
Yeah, I
following?
am.
Now, when that
Yeah, I'm
usually
seeing.
happens in price action, the next day's candlestick expands really, really. It has a very, very large expansion usually. So you go back in price action and see this like that. So I'm expecting this candlestick to expand higher. Wait, are they respecting first presented? Let's go back on the 1 minute and study something before we talk about the inside day. Sorry. Okay, so we have first presented here, but still, the reason why I'm not comfortable looking at this particular trade is that there's a lot of internal range liquidity here. You could just take a trade and they start reversing on you, right? So I'm studying this, and if I'm taking a trade from this fair value gap, what will be my target higher? Let's go on the higher time frame. I don't have anything significant to target, so I'm not looking at it. So yeah, back to the inside the narrative. Do you understand what I just talked about, Eddie? Now,
Yeah.
all right. So let me get another example of an inside day and how they work. Example. If anybody sees an example, they can help me. This is an example that the expansion is not even that big. So you can see how this particular candlestick is an insider to this candlestick. So they just open and boom, they are going higher and they continue higher for the rest of the month. Are you seeing that? Yeah, so that's an example. Where's another example? So it only happens when the previous day doesn't have its high or low touched. Yeah. So it signifies there's going to be an expansion, whether higher or lower. And to determine that expansion, higher or lower, I've taught you guys how to trade liquidity sweeps and liquidity breaches, right? So we all have a fair idea of what that looks like. Where's another inside day? Hey, nobody help me with the inside day. I'm not seeing it. Okay, there's another one here. So you can see this particular candlestick. Can you guys see what I'm showing you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you see how the highs and the lows are left untouched? So boom, they just breach the lows and continue higher. Do you see that momentum? Yeah, that's the inside day momentum. So yeah, that's how inside days work. And that's the same narrative I'm seeing for today too. So they can do that. Can do that going higher or lower.
Jason, please, I have a
Yeah.
question.
Oh yes.
Does it always go higher?
No, it can also go lower.
Okay.
Doesn't always go higher. So yeah, from here I'm sure they'll be moving higher. Yeah. So they are reclaiming first presented. And how many handles are they doing? You see, this is the same thing that happened yesterday. You see, you're having large ranges, you're having large candlesticks, but then they are not really significant in terms of handles. They are not really, really significant. I thought that would be like a 60 handle move at least. Yeah. That's why I had my stop loss at 7 handles yesterday because I thought they were very big ranges, but it turned out that they were very small. They were just exaggerated in price. So yeah, they're just
No,
playing.
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, question.
Okay.
Why don't you consider ES when making analysis? Because I've realized some traders, go on ES or S&P to make some analysis and refer back to the NQ. Why don't you use ES?
Yeah, I used to do that, but with what I'm trading currently, I don't really need ES to tell my directional buyers. my active buyers for that particular time. Like I could just be on NQ on the 1 minute time frame. I don't even need to go to the higher time frame, and I know what will happen for the next 5 candlesticks or the next 5 minutes. Are you getting me? So yeah, there was a time when I was learning to trade NQ. I used to correlate it with ES. I used to correlate it with what's the name? What's their other brother? US 32. That's the Dow Jones. Yeah. So I used to correlate all these three pairs, right, before I even take a trade. But then over the years I've been advancing, right? I don't really need those pairs to tell me what to do. Are you getting me? So yeah, I mean, it came from experience. But there are some days I do pull up ES. I don't know if you have joined streams like that. Like I just pull it up to see what they are doing. That's if NQ is being slow or sloppy for that day. I check if ES is also doing that. If they are also doing that, then I know that yeah, it's not an NQ problem. It's just yeah, that's what they want to do. Maybe they want to hold price in terms of time distortion or any concept they are looking at. Yeah, so I guess that's it for me. Let me good is not looking nice. Yeah, good is not looking nice. Let's not even talk about good. Yeah, so my expectations for the day have been met like to the tick. So I was expecting them to get to this buy side, but then the only box they didn't check was sweeping the sell side before moving. That would have been really really nice for me. Would have been really nice to trade that. But yeah, the market doesn't always do what you want it to do. So you are forced to anticipate rather than predict, right? So if I was predicting, I would have been FOMOing here to enter the trade before they go. But yeah, discipline is also part of you being a trader. So today's a green day for me. Very, very green day. I followed my rules. I didn't FOMO. And so for you guys. So yeah, don't forget to journal. I'll see you same time tomorrow.